What's going on, y'all? This is Steve Dent from Yes We Still Watch Wrestling Podcast. Here we are with our top 5 WrestleMania moments ever. When you think about WrestleMania, more than the matches, it's the moments. It's the moments that you look at. That's what makes WrestleMania. I appreciate the matches as a fan, but the moments is what give the kids something to talk about. What gives us something to talk about. So not matches, but just moments. WrestleMania moments. What's your top 5 WrestleMania moments? Here's my top 5 WrestleMania moments. We're going to start at number 5. At number 5, Undertaker's return at WrestleMania 20. For me, Undertaker's my GOAT. To me, is the greatest wrestler of all time. We can have that debate at another time, which we will. But that return at WrestleMania 20, I don't know if y'all remember, he was the American Badass. I didn't like that character personally, but I understood it, because if you have him do the Undertaker regime, the dead man for so long, eventually it's going to grow stale. People are going to get tired of it. We got a chance to see Undertaker just be himself, talk, and appreciate him really as a person, and still do in-ring work, still put on great in-ring work, and give that character a break. And he did it for a great period of time, and then they eventually brought it back. And the way they built the storyline, in a way where it was a lot of anticipation, even though we knew it was going to happen. They set him up versus Kane, who pretty much buried him alive, and signify eventually the return. So that moment, man, when Paul Bearer comes out, nobody knew Paul Bearer was coming out. Paul Bearer comes out with the urn. They got the drones. They got them holding the torches. They got the people holding the torches out, and then he comes out, man, and his hair is not even long like it used to be, but it was just a classic moment. Kane still can't believe it, like he's reaching over, and then Undertaker just, wins the match, man. Classic moment, man. One of my favorite moments ever for WrestleMania. Number 4, Seth cashing in at WrestleMania 31. Till this day, the best cash in for Money in the Bank ever, hands down. It's not even close. It's undisputed. Damian Priest got a chance to top that moment, but for right now, Seth Rollins, man. It's no secret. If you watch Yes We Still Watch Wrestling, I'm a Roman Reigns fan. Shout out to the Tribal Chief. We acknowledge the Tribal Chief. But then he was the guy that wasn't a good guy. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just the guy, right? And everybody hated Roman Reigns with me. I've been a Roman Reigns fan since day one. So I wanted Roman to win against Brock. It felt like Roman was about to beat Brock. It was a classic match of the heel beats down, the face, and then eventually the face does the Hulk Hogan move and eventually wins the match, right? That's what it felt like at the time. And they was actually putting on a great match to that point. I actually thought that was Roman's best match of it to date in his career, singles wise. And then out of nowhere, Seth comes out. You hear the music drop. You hear him. You see him come out sprinting, like full on sprint. Cashes in. They tease us possibly losing, like Brock actually winning, and then he stomps Roman and wins the match, man, and celebrates at the end. Crowd goes crazy. It was perfect timing, perfect time to do it, perfect moment. Absolute surprise. He already had his match earlier. People pretty much was just zoomed in on Brock versus Roman. Nobody saw it coming. Classic, one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time. Could be higher on the list, but it's not. My number 3. I was personally here for this one. Me, Shaq, shout out to Shaq, shout out to Willie, shout out to Shaq, shout out to Willie, shout out to Darius. We was actually there for this moment. WrestleMania 33, number 3 is the Hardy Boys return. To this day, I've never heard of. I'm not even just talking about wrestling. I'm talking about just period in life at a concert. I have never heard an ovation that loud. I've been to a Jay-Z concert. I've been to something in the water when Chris Brown came out and surprised everybody. I haven't been to everything, but I've been part of some big like concerts and events and stuff like that. I've never heard anything louder than when the Hardy Boys returned, and there was speculation around it. They did a great job keeping it quiet, but if you was there, I think you had to be there to kind of like sense that it was possible, because there was delete signs. You heard delete chants in the crowd during the matches. And there was a possibility that they would show up. And then the New Day did a great job of teasing them possibly coming out. But when that music hit, man, if there was a roof over I forget the name of the stadium, but if it was a roof over that stadium in Orlando, it would have blown off, man. One of the greatest moments ever. You got to see Jeff Hardy do his classic swanton bomb off the top of the ladder with somebody through the table. That was one of the greatest WrestleMania moments ever. One of the greatest moments I've ever experienced live. So it was pretty dope. But that's not number two. Number two, me personally, these next two is 100% biased. These are moments where it was emotional for me to watch these moments. And number two is Bianca Sasha, WrestleMania 37. The first time two black women main event WrestleMania. Matter of fact, I think it was the first time two black women even had a singles match at WrestleMania versus each other. And then on top of that, it's the main event for the women's, the WWE women's title. The moment itself, man, when you watch those first couple moments of the match, when that bell rings, both Sasha and Bianca break character because they're on the verge of tears, because they understand the moment. The crowd understands the moment. Everybody's behind them. And then not only do they understand the moment, but they went on to put on a classic match. Sasha did a great job as a heel. They did a great job of putting Bianca over, giving her spots, that legendary spot of her pressing Sasha and walking her to the ring and throwing her in the ring after climbing the steps. And then her winning the match, showing her family at the side, on ringside, man. Classic moment, classic match, everything you want. The emotions was there, so that was dope. And then my number one WrestleMania moment of all time, once again, I'm biased, but if I move my head to the right just a little bit, you see a picture back there. If I was to zoom in, it's the picture of Kofi Kingston holding the belt. After 11 years, he finally wins at WrestleMania 35. The first time an African-born wrestler won the belt. The second time a black male wrestler, won the WWE World title. For those of you, the WWE title. For those of you who don't watch wrestling as much and you're not fans of wrestling, right, and you don't fully understand the moment, to put the WWE title, the title that Vince McMahon created, on somebody means they're the face of the company. They're doing all the interviews, they're doing the promos, they're doing the TV appearances. They're the face. They're putting them on the side of the TV trucks. They're on the posters. They're on the ads. That you are the face of the company. It's more than just about matches. You are the face of the company. You're carrying the company on your back, and it's only been given. That belt has only been given to a black man once, not the world heavyweight title. Let's not get that confused, because Booker T won that and somebody else won that who I can't remember right now. But the WWE championship was only given to a black man once, and that's The Rock. And it hadn't been done in a while. So Kofi winning it for the second time as a black wrestler. First time an African-born wrestler has won it. He wasn't even supposed to be in the match. If you remember that run, like, the crowd gave him Daniel Bryan-esque moments where they were fully behind him, chanting his name in every event. He put on a classic performance at Elimination Chamber that year and kind of like forced the decision, like, yeah, we need to have him on the card and we need to have him in this match. And honestly, watching it live, I didn't think he was going to win, and then he won, man. And just that moment, him celebrating with his family. When Xavier Woods, like, when he, like, it's like they knew it was gonna happen, but the moment was so emotional, man. Xavier Woods is crying while raising his hand. Man, like, you see, and even when you watch clips on social media, you saw MVP and I forget my man, Shy. I think his name was Shy. Rest in peace to him. They're crying at a bar watching it, man. It's one of the best moments I've seen live. That was the first time I ever teared up watching wrestling ever. That's the first time I ever got emotional. First time I ever teared up. I shed a tear for Kofi, man. That was a huge moment, not only just for wrestling, but for the culture, for black culture, man. So I'm biased, but that's my number one. So number 5, Taker's return at WrestleMania 20. Number 4, Seth's cash in at WrestleMania 31. Number 3, Hardy Boys return, WrestleMania 33. Number 2, Bianca versus Sasha, WrestleMania 37. And at number 1, Kofi wins the title at WrestleMania 35. Be blessed.